that fascinates me is the Sammy Bull Gravano.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be in witness protection.
Yeah.
And is it not been that he was running another crime gang or something?
So they gave Sammy the Bull a pass to testify against John Gotti.
Right.
They put him in witness protection in Tempe, Arizona, which was like the party central place where I had my best mate Wildman live in.
Yeah.
And we set up this ecstasy ring. Well, we got in there before the Bull though, and we like locked down the local scene. We were involved with the local people. They supported us, provided information. That's how I built my bouncers. And then all of a sudden, these steroid head jock characters start popping up selling pills, and we're like, who the fuck are these guys? Then, but it got heavy because, you know, he didn't have the Gambino crime family behind him at this point,
right.
But he did have these big steroid head white supremacist guys called the Devil Dogs,
right.
Who would beat people up and yelp like dogs while they brutalized people. And some of his crew lured my top sales guy, Skinner, to a nightclub in Scottsdale, saying they were going to do a deal.
Yeah.
Took him to the men's room and knocked his teeth out and took all of his money and took all of his drugs. And I was thinking earlier on when you were on about getting paranoid and everyone's against you and the gangster threat and all this.
Yeah.
And the guns are legal in Arizona. And I had a concealed weapons permit, trained to shoot by the police to kill a home intruder, you know, put 2 in the chest, 1 in the nose, whatever. So when all this was kicking off with Sammy the Bull's crew, like you said, you had these gangster rivals.
Yeah.
I had this big bed and I had a shotgun, fully loaded, ready to go. On either side of the bed, I moved 100 miles away from Phoenix to Tucson in this gated guarded community. Hopefully they couldn't get up the street, but if they did, I had these 2 guns. But the Bull, you know, he was still... his attitude was, they've put me in witness protection. I'm not going to go out there laying low with some phony beard on. If they're going to come for me, they're going to come for me, and I'm ready. And he had all these booby traps in his house, and he was good to go. And actually, the day he was arrested, the feds actually saved his life because the Gotti crew were in town with a bomb and surveillance.
Did you know where he was?
Oh, they were watching. They were about to take him out.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing with those guys. You know, for the rest of their lives now.
I found it fascinating. This guy admitted 19 murders, and he ratted. He ratted on John Gotti, which shows a liberty. So it was. Yeah. And because I'm criminal minded, and no, the guy was just a rat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I found it amazing that he was still operating and all that. And but you say he was ready to get took out. Because am I right in saying that he got another sentence? He got see when he got out for the informing snitching on John Gotti. Yeah. In the Arizona thing. He got another sentence, didn't he, for the ecstasy thing?
All right, so he was the head of the ecstasy conspiracy.
Right.
I can't remember whether he got 15 or 20 years or somewhere in that range.
He did get a big sentence, aye.
Yeah, the son got slightly more than me, I think. And what they did was, in their plea agreement, they agreed to let the women off if the men would take the fall for it. Something like that. That was part of it, I think. Right. 57 people, I believe, were arrested in the case, and they all agreed to testify against and cooperate with the authorities. Right. In mine, over 100 arrested, only 4 agreed to cooperate. Everybody stood really tight. Right. And there was a point where, when we were going court, I don't know whether the guards were taking the piss or what, but I don't know if you've seen any of my videos on YouTube with Wildman. He was one of my bouncers. Yeah,
Wildman's he's
like
one
this
of the
big.
favourite
He's
characters.
This big. Yeah.
You know.
The guards actually chained Sammy the Bull's son to Wildman when we were all going court, and Wildman was like, you know, because we had this war going before, but we was like, once we're in there was no point in doing that because we were all trying to do everything we possibly could to beat our case.
But so the Wildman, I think they get see the way my perception, he doesn't give 2 fucks.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't give 2 fucks.
He doesn't give 2 fucks, but I could guide him when there were major issues arising. He would listen. I was one of the few people he would listen to. Yeah. So what we did was we sat down with Sammy the Bull's son. Wildman was cuffed to him. He had no choice. So. And he basically, because their ecstasy case was running a couple of years before mine, he was giving us a load of information of what could possibly happen next.
Right.
So we got a lot of good information out of him that night in the holding cell.
Right.
Yeah. Well, they went to Hollywood, didn't they? Karen Gravano is the star of Mob Wives.
Mob Wives, I know.
Yeah, so they're legit.
Yeah.
I have been in contact with Gerard Gravano on email, and that, you know, there's no issues there.
I saw something on YouTube about John Gotti Jr.
Yeah.
And they gave him a lot of hard time, so they did. And his dad get put in the Supermax, and he never saw anybody for 10 years and get the cancer and that.
Yeah.
And he was allowed to visit with him and that.
Yeah.
So I was watching that.
That was the Supermax the federal Supermax in Colorado.
Colorado.
It's
it's
highest level
and all
one.
that, and it's
You
don't see anybody or nothing like that.
Yeah. They very rarely get to see anything in there.
That's Sammy the Bull. I just thought he was a dirty snitch. You know what I mean? For doing that on him.
Yeah, he was the highest ranking member of the mafia to turn informant at that point in time, and a lot of people then thought, right, well, if the Bull's gonna snitch, we're gonna snitch.
Yeah.
And a load of people ended up getting life sentences, and that's why people are still inside now because of what he said. So they're going to be looking over their shoulders for the rest of their lives. You saw what happened with Whitey Bulger.
Aye, he just done him in, didn't he? He came in.
Yeah.
He was sitting in a wheelchair, and even though he was 80 odds to get done, he
Yeah.
moved to another facility, didn't he?
Yeah.
And they just done him written. It was a guy for the mafia that done that.
Well, that's it. I mean, he fed
I've read
information to the FBI about the
He
mafia.
was doing that for years, and his brother was a mayor or something like that as
connected.
well.
Yeah.
So at that time, he had his crime empire. He was getting info on people.
Yeah.
And it's not too late to get killed. He get killed. What, he was 88.
You never know why that stuff's going to catch up.
Yeah, I know.
Like you mentioned about the Americans watching my YouTube channel. A lot of them are young people, and the most watched rapper right now for the young people. I don't know if you're familiar with this guy called TEKASHI 6IX9INE.
He's in the jail, isn't he?
He's got the rainbow-coloured hair,
Yeah.
and he has just agreed to cooperate against the 9 Trey Blood Gang, which was started out of the prison system in
because this guy was going to become really, really famous, this rapper, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And now he's in the jail.
But now he will be looking over his shoulder like the
his
Bull,
nickname is it?
or like Bulger for the rest of his life. They're saying they're going to put him in witness protection. This rapper, and he's got 6ix9ine on his face. So
it's not going to be hard to find him walking down the street, is it?
It's not going to be hard to find him, and I think also they'll go after his family and his loved ones and stuff like that right now, because he's not actually got up in court and testified yet.
Yeah.
But in his plea bargain, he's saying, look, if you guys will drop all of the charges against me, I'll give you everything you want. I'll give you the goods on all these guys.
Yeah.
But you might think that's going to be an easy ride, but it's not going to be an easy ride.
Is it fuck?
He's fucked, isn't he?
That, aye, definitely.
Yeah.
Definite.
So his music career, how is he? But maybe they can cash in and say he's the guy that can't ever do a concert again because the hitmen are going to come and get him or whatever.
It's up in Glasgow just now, Sean. It's like the Wild West. There's all sorts of things with unsolved shootings and stabbings and slashings.
Yeah.
And they're running amok. I think it's the same in Liverpool everywhere just now. People, the young team that they just don't give a fuck. They just don't. But in my days when I was younger, we were wild. But you get shot for the slightest thing now.
Well, a lot of it is driven by they made drugs illegal and create this huge black market, and a lot of it's now they're fighting over that black market profit.
That's what it is.
It's taking over the entire world.
It is about the drugs and that. So it is.
Yeah.
It is. So can I get back to see when I was coming to the end of my sentence?
Yeah.
So
before you get to any sentence, I've just got a quick question.
Yeah.
I think people will be fascinated. What are the difference between Cat A, Cat B, and Cat C prisons that you experience? And I imagine that's the equivalent to like maximum security, medium security, and minimum security, maybe.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that? What the difference are in the privileges and how often you get out of your cell? Visitations, you get more visits, things like that.
We'll see Cat A, Sean. A lot of people think that Cat A prisoners are locked up 23 hours a day.
Right.
They're no.
Okay.
See, when you're in the dispersal system, you're still mingling about with the prisoners.
You can go into a day room.
See, I see about 30 years ago, they would put your light on every hour and all that. That doesn't happen now.
And wake you up in the night.
Because that's a form of torture. They don't do that now, right? So when I was in, Cat A was just, the main thing was you couldn't get through the system.
Yeah.
You couldn't progress. Take Cat B, take Cat C.
Mm-hmm.
But you were still say you were in and you were Cat B, you were next door to me. You still had the same privileges and whatever. But the big thing was people were vetted for visits and things like that.
Visits is less.
I couldn't get everybody in. You could get people in, and so that was it. And in England, apart from Scotland, England, you can cook all your own foods. You've got fridges, freezers. You can go to the canteen. That's a shop, and you can buy any sort of a herb, vegetables, fruit, mince, steaks, Black Forest gattles, ice cream, and you had people there from China, India, Italy, all over the world. And some of the meals I tasted in there were cordon bleu. There was a guy, Davy Poole. Davy was in one of the prisons ways, and he was a Knightsbridge robber. And it was done with an Italian guy. And I think he ended up getting shot in Italy once he get released. But they took fortunes out of that. Well, Davy pulled some of the meals he made. He could have been a cordon bleu chef on MasterChef. So he could have. So it wasn't just all doom and gloom. Sorry. I'd quite, after the 5-year period for the thing with, and actually took ecstasy in the prison as well.